Hello and welcome to episode 9 of A Polite Notice, a single-seater podcast. We're here to yap about all things F175 live. This episode we are claiming to be experts as this is our opinion on each team's livery and the event itself. So let's jump right in. Hello ladies!
Hello!
Hi. Just to clarify, this is a full podcast episode, so my name is Becca and I am joined by Emma, Dan, Imane and Savannah. How are you all doing?
Full house today.
Doing good. It's a Monday, but preseason testing is this week.
Very imminent.
It is.
Yes.
Yay.
And then it's Australian Grand Prix.
Woo.
So
We're nearly through the break, guys. We've survived another winter break. So, let's kick off. What headline thoughts? What were everyone's top thoughts on F175 Live?
can I boo or will I be kicked out?
No, but you will get unbelievably cancelled on X.com.
Mm-hmm.
Can I be truthful? I'm so glad I saved £100 on a ticket. Really?
You're joking!
Yeah, I have to agree. I'm sorry.
I had so much FOMO I can't explain.
Yeah, I still wish I was there.
Yeah,
I
same.
mean,
Me
even if
too.
it would have been so bad, the
For
kind
the
of bad
goodie
that's
bags.
good.
Just for the goodie bags, at least.
Just for the Machine Gun Kelly concert, which is how
Oh
the
my
show
God, yeah.
kicked off. I wrote copious notes about this event, and I wrote them in
Just
order.
that performance.
Just about Machine Gun. So I'm going to read what I wrote. I wrote, leather bikini lady. I liked her. She was cool.
I loved the sparkly bra. It was amazing. I need that.
I
bra.
put, his guitar is shaped like a razor blade. So cool. So edgy. Play emo girl. And then the only way MGK would sell out the O2.
No!
Which I don't think is true. MGK was there. Then immediately following MGK, we had the first little appearance from Jack Whitehall, who I feel like was very British in his humour. I imagine that if you weren't British, some of that was just cringy and some of it did not make sense.
That's the real reason why Max Verstappen doesn't want to come back. He just doesn't like British humor.
I really know
Maybe.
I feel at home in the UK because I found everything this man said funny. I didn't cringe.
Well, then clearly I'm not at home because I didn't. I wrote, wow, great jokes. Don't remind me how silly this sport is. Good Max. This was also, he mentioned Max Verstappen, and that was the first time someone got booed in the event. Was just the
That's
mention
horrible.
of Max's name, Max got booed. Which
Ah,
was,
fucked up.
oh, okay. Not bringing up the George beef, immediately followed by a Francis Bourgeois reference. The train guy off TikTok.
Yeah. I noticed that. It wasn't... I don't think a lot of people picked up on it, to be honest.
I don't think
The
I
who?
did.
The Francis Bourgeois is a guy on TikTok who got famous for, he's like a very posh boy who really likes trains, and he would film himself with like an overhead camera, so he had these really weird like downward shots on his face as he went absolutely nuts over some trains. And I think he's now like a Burberry model or something. He's got like, because he's got one of those faces that high fashion British brands really like, with the curly hair and stuff. So yeah, he's made like a packet off of this.
He's very much the definition of he was passionate about something and then got accidentally famous.
This is also the first mention of Jack Whitehall's love for Charles Leclerc. And I wrote, Charles' dimple is on full display. That's slutty.
Ooh, sexy.
How brave do you have to be to say you want to take this man to bed with your wife?
I mean, if I
Not
had a
very.
wife, I'd be that brave too. Like,
Me, Checo's wife, Jack Whitehall, Charles Leclerc. What, Savannah, you can jump into. What a combination.
I mean,
Good
that's
God.
my dream blunt rotation right there.
I tell you who men do find weirdly like hot and horny, and maybe in the same way they found Charles Leclerc, is the guy who played Venom in the Venom
Tom
films.
Hardy.
Tom
Yeah.
Hardy, thank you. Yeah, him. Men have a thing for him.
The
Take
thing
Tom
is,
Hardy. Compare
the
Tom
thing
Hardy
is,
and
I
Charles
do
enough.
not find Charles Leclerc attractive in any sense. He's
I understand.
too
He's too
perfect.
pretty.
He's too perfect to be pretty, you know? It's like everything is measured, everything is calculated, and it's just
The
like
width of that
scary.
man's jeans
Yeah,
is,
it's
is not
scary.
calculated. The width of that man's jeans is purely...
Chaos. I'm sorry.
He
Yeah.
bought Jenko jeans in the 90s and doesn't want to give them up.
I was going to
Literally.
say, that
I feel
man's
for
jeans...
Alex when she goes out with him.
Okay. And this was also the first time I noticed that they had Moe on the table, which obviously now Moe have replaced Ferrari Champagne as the official champagne sponsor of Formula One. And I have to say, I prefer Moe to Ferrari Champagne. I'm on board. It's not... I'm a Laurent Perrier kind of girl. But if anyone fancies, sending us presents, we do accept champagne.
And rum.
Almave for me, please, guys. Sponsor the pod.
Celsius, if you wouldn't mind.
I'm trying to get drunk here, not...
Controversial, but I could not get on with Celsius.
They are part of the LVMH brand, like the entire umbrella company. So Louis Vuitton is coming in. Tag Heuer is coming in. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But the whole deal, like the entire contract, is 1.5 billion for a 10-year partnership.
Damn.
I mean,
That's
I've
how
already
much they
bought
paid.
16 Louis Vuitton handbags off the back of that sponsorship, so they're making their money back. What can I say? I'm swimming in the things. Then we had a nice little VT about the history of F1. I really enjoyed these.
That. Yeah.
Sweet.
I thought they were nice. They were a little bit melodramatic at times, but it was nice to see some faces from history. James Hunt is always a joy to have on your televisions because he's just the definition of entertaining.
Yep.
And as always, it's nice to see Jos Verstappen getting set on fire.
And Roman didn't in that takeout. So.
No, they
No,
did.
they did.
Roman getting set on fire did appear, and he also appeared in the Haas video. Which we
I mean,
did appear in
the thing is, just seeing him was just wholesome, to be fair. I just loved seeing him in the videos.
She means Roman, not Jos.
No, absolutely. No, please. Give me a break.
If anyone wants to cancel us for saying that we don't like Jos Verstappen, feel free. Okay, and that brings us swiftly on to our first livery of the night, which is Steak Kick Sauber, as they will continue to be known.
Sexy! That was lovely. I can't explain.
Headline.
They stole that from Taylor Swift.
Oh dear God.
What the fuck are you talking about?
They did. It was a Taylor Swift reference, the entire intro. Look at my TikTok, and you'll know what I'm talking about.
I think I saw that TikTok and I also didn't understand it.
Because you should have gone to the sound and see where it came from. No, but in the most beautiful way possible. It was, in my opinion, one of the top entries of the evening.
The neon green drumsticks.
Loved it.
Ooh. The transition in the car, from black to green and green to black, it was so smooth. Like, it just, it was purely beautiful.
And I just loved the voiceover of Ready to Hustle Harder right before they came out. That's something I need to say to myself as a motivational quote.
Yeah, good one, actually.
I tell you one thing I didn't like about the Steak intro, and again, you can disagree with me on this. They showed the car and the livery first in CGI.
Yes.
Before they showed us the physical thing. Like before the reveal VT, you saw the car in CGI. I didn't love that. It spoiled the surprise of when they brought the car out.
I get that. Yeah, I get that.
They also at one point mentioned the smell of the track as part of the speech. Someone said the smell of the track, which
I missed that.
Just made me giggle. Matteo is back.
He is back. It doesn't feel like he's been gone for that long, now that I see him again.
Like a year.
And it was awkward as
Crickets.
ever. Crickets. Yeah. He was so awkward. He always has been. Laura. This is the first appearance of Laura, one of the hosts of F175. Like, she looks so good.
That
Absolutely
sparkly
gorgeous.
jumpsuit.
Oh, it looks so good.
Just having her in the event made it way much better, to be honest.
Oh, and I have to say this, because Andrew made this joke and wanted me to bring it up on the podcast. He said they should get a Greggs sponsorship. And then on the back of the car, it could say the Greggs Steak Bake.
Sexy.
Oh my God.
Sexy.
Yes.
Steak is spelt differently, but...
If we ever get sponsored by Greggs, we're giving it to Andrew.
I've never had the steak bake at Greggs before. This is the only way I'll ever have it. Because I don't do that type of meat.
That's
you guys all know this.
Yeah, but that's my favourite thing from Greggs. Apart from the caramel donut. Also, I wrote, it's giving Death Star.
I wrote, it's giving Wicked.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. We just needed a bit of, sprinkles.
You saw
of
a
pink.
different Wicked film than I did. My God.
I
don't
did not
remember
see
neon
Wicked.
green dramas.
I mean, just the entrance, with so much green.
Okay, so what would everyone give the steak livery out of 10? I gave it a 6.
7.
6.5.
I'd give it a 7. I'd give it a 7.
Controversial, but I'm gonna give it a 5. It was like a go girl, give me nothing situation. Like, oh, they went with green. Fork found in kitchen.
I get it. And I do wish I love the fact that they ombra'd it from green to black. I wish they'd done something a little bit more interesting with the ombre. I will explain that a bit more later.
The thing is, I was not expecting anything from them. That's why when I saw how the ombre worked, I was actually amazed. So just gave the fact that they did a good job, if that makes sense.
Also,
yeah, they actually put in some effort.
I will commend them about the fact that the rims on their tyres at the front where it's green are green and at the back where it's black are black. That's an attention to detail that I do like to see. We'll see how much of these livery actually last after pre-season testing when everyone sees how heavy their cars are and starts ripping paint off. But
I swear.
Okay, then we had another Jack Whitehall segment, and we had the appearance of the 4 hosts together, which is Lawrence, Ariana, Laura, and Jack. The women outdid the men hook, line, and sinker at this event. They schooled them truly. Any further thoughts?
I went for a blank stage. I can't remember much.
Also, this was another one where they stood very close to Charles Leclerc, and the cameraman was doing his darndest to make sure that Charles was in the shot as much as possible.
Yeah,
everyone was in love that night.
It was so awkward.
Exactly.
Because it was just like the 4 hosts, and then down in the corner was just Charles just sat there trying to enjoy the event.
Poor Charles.
And a Mike Crack reference was made. And I feel like it's a very similar Mike Crack joke to the one that Savannah likes to make.
As it should.
Love Mike Crack.
Many people do.
They do.
Any final thoughts on Steak?
Nope. I mean,
Green
they did
Machine.
a better job.
Green Machine. I did like how Gabby was taking it all in. This was his biggest appearance in F1.
I also love the fact that they really heavily featured their drivers in their intro video, which not all teams did as much.
One thing I'm very disappointed in that no one did it was a Hulk joke, because obviously Nico's Hulkenberg's nickname is the Hulk and he's now gone into a green team. I'm so disappointed.
I wonder if there's like a copyright thing with Marvel. Particularly since Marvel have like a relationship with Alpine as well.
Yeah, but I'm a bit disappointed.
Okay, so then the next team was Williams.
Yay!
Green Machine put to the Blue Boys. I wrote Decaf T, Jimmy V, Riz Master. I don't remember if that was a quote or not.
The first thing that comes to my mind now, and it's only because I'm looking at the conversation I had with Imane during the event, like the live reactions that we did. It's the I'm blue, dabbity.
Oh my god, Dan.
Anyway.
I'm sorry.
Alright, this is a bad bit if you have epilepsy.
Fair.
Yeah,
fair.
You would have been triggered.
I mean, the whole event was probably pretty bad, but especially the Williams neon lasers. They had a video talking about the glory of their past. We had some lovely VT of particularly Nigel Mansell. He really stuck out to me in that VT. And then the phrase, that was then. So Williams are really looking forward to the future. And then they played the song from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. You know, What's Up, Danger?
Yes.
I love that song. I think that was really good.
I love the whole context behind it, because it's the one song where the hero kind of embraces all the power that he has.
Yeah, he jumps backwards off a building. If James Vowles had jumped backwards off of the O2, now that... I know it's a dome, so it's difficult to jump off of, but like...
Fair.
If he'd
Just
managed
slide
James
down.
Vowles sliding backwards down off the O2 with What's Up Danger in the background. Perfect. So James Vowles came out by himself to introduce their new title sponsor.
The catwalk. The catwalk of James Vowles. That man.
This is the
I mean,
Victoria's
Riz
Secret
Master.
fashion show.
Literally. Honestly, I never thought he would have that much confidence in him during that walk, but man.
This is the VS fashion show the girl he's always wanted.
Yeah, and I also noted, and I don't know whether this was just a slip of the tongue or how the name is actually going to be done, but he said Williams Alatassian, not Alatassian Williams. So I don't know what the official team name is. I don't know if anyone does.
I'm gonna
I
have
just
a
don't like it with the sponsor thing.
No, I'm sad that Williams have taken on a title sponsor. So it's only McLaren now, who... They could be Chrome McLaren... Papaya Kraken, HB Book, whatever.
So
flipping million sponsors they have.
It's going to be Atlassian Williams Racing.
Boo, hate that.
I hate it.
Hate that. And then after James Vowles did his little speech about their new title sponsor, out came Carbon, as they are official.
First of all, they brought out all of their reserve drivers.
Yeah, there was loads of them that came out then. I really like the fact that their reserve drivers came out with the 2 lead drivers as well. I thought that was nice. They got a feature.
And they were in their own suits. They were in their own helmets. It was great.
It was a camp. I wrote down camp. I don't remember it being that camp, but that's what I wrote. So I'm going to trust myself. And I also wrote looking fine. Woof. I know I'm biased, but they
Agreed.
did look. They look pretty
Gorgeous.
delicious.
Formidable.
But James's ability to take a selfie is a great failure to this day.
It's like a dad thing.
This was also the first time we noticed on the stage floor they had arrows to tell them where to stand for the camera. The camera accidentally showed that, which I thought was so funny that they couldn't be trusted to remember a placement.
We're talking about...
To be fair, it's quite a long catwalk.
We're talking about 25 men here.
I was going to say it's men. Give them instructions.
30. There we go.
Even with instructions, they're not going to follow it.
Yeah.
They said they've been doing this for a year, and still there was so many hiccups in the background. So you can imagine.
The selfie was awkward. The car also, I noted, had Alex's number on it. It was car number 23, but on the side it said Carlos's name. So I quite like that.
Unbelievable.
I quite liked it. I hope it was intentional.
I don't think it was intentional. That's the thing.
Who's getting fired?
I feel like it was a mistake.
If it was intentional, I think it's a cute way to make sure that both drivers are represented on the car. If it's unintentional,
Sweet.
Someone's getting fired. And then at the end, there was a giant QR code that we could all worship.
Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end, they put up like the Join the Williams fan club now QR code, and it was just being blasted over the screens, and it looked like a cult of QR code.
I want to know if anyone scanned that properly while they were physically there, because I think my phone would have glitched trying to get a picture.
Or just how big it is.
And also there were so many bright lights around, you're not going to get the camera to focus. Now we talk about the livery. I'm kind of disappointed. We keep the Duracell air vent. Love it.
Yeah.
But it's just blue.
I'm
I liked it.
It's a bit ombre situation.
I do
Exactly,
like
I
the
liked
dark
it.
blue to the light blue, but
If they had gone dark blue to light blue to white,
yes.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Because the race suits are white.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you would have made the cockpit light blue, and then that would have... It stands them out a bit more.
To be fair, I mean, compared to other cars, I still feel like they did a bit of effort, because we're coming to the most horrendous ones later on. But I'm just saying, this one, I mean, they did something to it, you know?
Yeah.
It's still not a pain to your eyes, if that makes sense.
I've seen uglier Formula One cars.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think their sponsor placement is nicer than some other cars as well.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, it definitely is.
I think that they've been a bit more demure.
Quite mindful.
But at the same time, if you have Golf as a sponsor and you have the option to run Golf blue, come on.
I don't think they would have done it just because it's not their own blue.
No, I think you should have Williams blue in there.
Yeah.
And technically now I have a hat that matches both the front and back of the car.
See?
It's a win-win.
Plus point.
I'll find something that matches the middle. I'll give you a Duracell hat if
I don't want that. I don't want a Duracell bunny hat. Actually, no. If it's like bunny ears, that'd be kind of cute. Williams Duracell bunny ears would be adorable. Any ratings for the Williams car?
6.
7. I just like the ombre.
I'm gonna give it a 5. I love Williams, but I can't. I just wish they'd done more.
6. I loved the entrance. I don't love the car.
Fair.
Okay, so I'm actually gonna go up a little bit with this, and I'm gonna go 7.5 because one, I think the ombre, the dark to light blue is nice. I think that they've got a good sponsor placement, and also I think the Duracell battery is creative. I mean, it's shaped like a battery, it's in a good place, it doesn't necessarily take away from the fronts or the sides of the cars, unlike some of the other cars do, you know?
Yeah, maybe I was a bit harsh. Maybe a 6 is fairer. Yeah, okay.
I think
you've
it's
talked
very
me up.
slay.
I think
it's
you've
very
talked me up a
slay.
bit. Yeah, okay, I'll give it a 6.
Yeah, you're right. Honestly, I like it.
Lovely. Then we got Jack Whitehall again. He's coming up a lot, strangely.
He was hosting the event.
All right. No, don't heckle me. He mentioned Lando. fresh undercut for this, which looked fine. We had a Valtteri Bottas Joe Exotic joke.
That was the best thing.
That was probably the strongest joke of the night, in my opinion.
And didn't they pin back to Valtteri when they did that? And he's just like sitting there with a smile. I loved that.
Lando was asked if it was his year. He said he hoped so. Mm-hmm. Which I think is a fairly diplomatic answer. We also had the first sighting of Lily, Oscar's girlfriend, who looks adorable. I love her. I think she's lovely.
She looks amazing.
And I don't remember the context for this, but I also wrote down, I do not want to think about Zach Brown's nipples.
So they were talking about what Zach is going to do if Lando gets another win.
Yeah, because he's no more tattoos.
Or little nipple piercing.
Little nipple piercing.
No one wants to see that.
No. And that led us swiftly on to a team who really want us to know their name and get it right. Visa Cash App Racing Bulls.
Good God.
Try saying that 5 times fast.
Visa Cash App Racing Bulls.
Good job.
Manya Chihuahua was the host hired in comedian. This is where I'm going to bring up something that I noted, and I don't think this is a fresh take. I think other people have noted this too. The historic teams, McLaren, Ferrari, Williams, really looked back at their history, at their previous successes. The newer, more modern teams hired comedians, entertainers, things like that to kind of run their 7 minutes. Yeah. So this was it. He was going around asking people in the City of London if they knew who Visa Cash App Red Bulls were.
I wish I was there.
Racing Bulls.
Yep, didn't work. Don't remember the team name. I also wrote down the phonetic alphabet. There was clearly a joke about the phonetic alphabet in there.
I can't remember. I was just loving life.
People said that Yuki was the best.
Yes.
6 foot combined.
Yes,
Little
him
legs.
and Isaac are 6 foot combined. So all we need now is for Visa Cash App Racing Bulls to put them on top of each other so we can measure that.
That would involve one of them standing on the other one's head.
That'd have to be probably
Yuki
Yuki.
standing on Isaac's head, yeah.
Yuki's smaller than Isaac.
A McLaren fan got called a human tangerine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, they did. Not gonna lie, I would have loved that Visa Cash App Racing Bulls jacket more than the actual McLaren jackets. That jacket looked nice.
Yeah. Their merch this year has been really good. Max Verstappen is also now the face of V-Carb fashion.
Yep.
Which is an interesting choice, considering the fact that they have 2 drivers just sat there. And then the gang all came out together. I thought Manya Chihuahua looked fine as hell in that segment.
You're missing one crucial bit. And that
sorry.
That old woman ripping open her coat.
Oh, yes.
And wanting to write on the front of her t-shirt, yeah.
Yeah. I want to be her when I'm old.
You will be her when you're old at this rate, and we all know that.
To be fair, I'm already there now, and I'm 26, so I'll take that.
The covered car, they were the first ones to do a car that was covered when it came out on the stage, and then the drivers removed the sheet.
Isaac's face just being like he's never seen it ever before in his entire life.
It's like that emoji, the emoji that we keep sending with
he also made a naked attraction joke, which I found really funny. I thought that was really funny. By that metric, they should have uncovered it from the back first. Yeah. But, the joke still works.
You do know how there's people who always can keep secrets in certain companies? I feel like Isaac would have been that person. If you showed him the livery, he would have posted it online everywhere. Or, told people what it looks like.
I can see that.
Yeah. Munya said that the car was white like turkey teeth.
That was a hint.
And then the car was revealed. I love this livery.
Yep.
I'm going to be biased.
She was beautiful.
It was the best.
So I was talking earlier about fun ways to do an ombre. The tiny bulls ombreing the white to the blue.
That was really nice.
So cute. Love it.
Fun story about this reveal, right? So I was on a coach traveling from a city to another, and then my colleague was sitting next to me while I'm sending down a voice note of how clean and sexy the car looks. And I'm like, I have feelings for this car. It's so beautiful. Then I finished the voice note and my colleague is like, whom are you expressing your love to? And I'm like, It's a car. He's like, which man are you talking to? And I'm like, I promise you, it was a car. And then I showed him the car, and he agreed.
Yeah, it's fresh. Don't get it stuck in the gravel.
Yep.
It's gonna look brown.
I'm biased. I love this car.
I like the fact that they kept the classic Red Bull air duct with the bull on there, showing who they are, but it's got a lot of its own personality, this livery. I really like it. And again, good sponsorship placements.
Yep, absolutely.
Which we will come on to with a certain orange car.
Let's not forget the red one.
Yeah, that's what I thought we were talking about, the red one the whole time. I didn't even know there was an issue with the orange one.
We'll come to them right at the end. I've got opinions about those. There was a comment about the fact that no one's on Isaac Hajar's Instagram, which I didn't get.
But I'm gonna go follow him now.
Wait, what? As someone who absolutely loved last year's F2 season, I am, Isaac Hajar holds a special place because of how entertaining he made that last race. Not through racing, just through those radio messages. So good for Isaac Hajar.
Hey, what's the gap? How far ahead is he of me? What's the gap?
I mean...
What's the gap?
It remains to be seen what the gap is going to be in a few weeks' time.
The season, yeah.
Pre-season testing. Then they said the phrase, performance obsessed, no blame, no nonsense. But if you're on the end of Yuki Tsunoda's radio, you're getting blamed for everything.
Everything and anything.
Oh, bless him.
And then the question, why V-carb? More fun, more music, more entertainment. Not, we're really good at racing.
Nothing related to racing, that's the thing.
And then I wrote down, do they need my Canva Pro skills?
Yes,
They
they
most
do.
likely will. The whole F1 needs them at this point.
Yeah. Right. I gave this livery a full 8 out of 10. I love it.
Same.
Yeah,
10 out of
it's
10.
beautiful.
Oh, Emma, you're so biased. Oh, God.
Oh, come off it. You'd be the same with McLaren and Ferrari.
No.
I'm not
Oh,
biased.
no.
I'm not biased.
Oh, no.
Good God, I hated it. I went crying to bed.
Wait until we get there and we'll tell you how we felt as
Literally.
McLaren girlies. Give us a moment.
I'm taking points off because I don't like the Cash App on the front wing.
Yeah, that wasn't great placement. Was it?
It's-
I
And
wouldn't
it's
mind
there
it.
twice. It could have just been there once.
No,
Yeah, but
you
throws
want,
off
I think you
balance.
want symmetry. But I think the green on the black, it looks wrong on this car.
It's kind of everywhere too. Like you have it on the black and white. You have it black on white on some placements of the car, and then you have it the white on black on the wing. You could have used that for another sponsor. You could have used that just for Hugo all across, and that would have been nice.
But the color palette is quite nice. I mean, if you
Yeah,
think
the color
about
palette
it,
was
like,
great.
yeah,
What's
green, yellow, red, everything.
What's
And
everyone's
they used
ratings?
Yuki's number.
Hold on. So I feel like we're forgetting one big important part about VCarb, and that's the fact that it's Visa Cash App. Like
Thank you.
they're a title sponsor. So the Cash App has to go somewhere big. Like I think it could have been like a yellow or something, kind of like the Bulls. But I think going on the wings, I think that was probably the best placement for it. That way it doesn't go, because the Visa is obviously across, and then you have to have the Red Bulls. So my rating for this would also be an 8. I think they could have changed, they could have added in a little bit more green. But then again, I already think their suits make them look like Buzz Lightyear. So
You're not wrong. I really like the stripe of blue under the side pods. I think that is really nice. I think the way that they accented this is nice. Any other number ratings? I don't think everyone's given their number yet.
8 sounds like
8 it
a good
is.
one.
8 it is. Sorry, Emma, you've been overruled.
I don't care.
Jack Whitehall. Jack Whitehall number 4. A country star was mentioned.
Kane Brown.
And Christian Horner was spotted for the first time and was also booed by me. And I got cancelled. And then on came Kane Brown. Put some miles on it.
It was the perfect song for the night.
I
It was a
mean-
bit too American, but it was a good song.
I don't remember this. I think I actually walked out after the Visa Cash App once.
So Kane Brown played one song, which was Put Some Miles on It, is what I'm going to assume that song is called. I don't know anything about this man. I did write down, can he not afford sleeves?
fair enough.
I've got no clue who he is, so I
put a shirt on.
can't say much.
I can't say I enjoyed this massively, but I'm not a big country music gal, so it's not for me.
So the actual song actually features, he did it with Marshmello, and he wasn't there that night. Kane performed it by himself.
All Marshmello songs sound the same to me. And that's my opinion on that. And yeah.
That's my opinion. How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion.
And now I'm going to hand over to Savannah to talk about the Team America. Hey, yes. Savannah, what do you think of Haas?
Okay, so I think this is probably to me, this is the prettiest livery out of the whole bunch. And here's why I say that. Okay, here's why I say that. If you look, it is the sleekest car by 100,000 miles. Okay, it's not even close.
The livery makes the car look fast, which is what you want a Formula One car to look.
Yes. Also, okay, I only see maybe 3 sponsors up on there. MoneyGram is there.
Who are their title sponsor?
Literally. And okay, I get it. I understand they just started making money this year, but that just keep it really nice, really simple. I mean, MoneyGram has to be really gramming out that money for Haas to only have one sponsor, because that right there, they haven't overdone it.
Yeah,
it's not AZ and this and this and this and this and this. Like, it's not. It's very sleek. I like the red. I like the white. I like the black. They kept it simple. I mean, I think it's the best. Yeah,
I do really like this one.
So this one is the only one, and I think because they didn't try to go all out. Now, could they probably use a little bit more sponsors? Yeah, but
they might be able to buy a simulator.
I think it's also because of the way they started out in F1 in the first place. They relied a lot, and they still do on Ferrari.
This is the 10th year of when Haas arrived. They were essentially a buyer's team, so they would buy off-the-shelf parts from other teams, mainly from Ferrari, and put their car together like that, which isn't ideal because it's like trying to put together a jigsaw. Yeah, they do still buy a lot of their parts, but they have a development team now, which they didn't when they first started. This is the 10th year of Haas. I'm going to ask the girls to reflect on this statement, which was brought up. Gene Haas did the unthinkable when he started Haas. Do we think that starting a Formula One team is the unthinkable?
I think it's because he didn't start it in the conventional way that they usually get started.
I just think it was a dumb statement, but yeah.
I mean, I do see why they made it. He didn't exactly have a lot of people backing him or even trusting that he could do it.
Yeah.
I blanked a lot, so I've got absolutely no. I didn't know.
I also didn't realise that the man who was doing the speech in the Haas VT was Kane Brown, who we'd just seen performing live. Did not put 2 and 2 together there.
Took a moment.
We had a mention of the Man on Fire. We had a mention of K-Mag. The Haas cap stays on during sex.
They did say that.
I don't think they said the Haas cap stays on during sex, but I think they do said the Haas cap stays on. And the song "Are You Gonna Go My Way" was played, which is I love that song. I think for an American team to play,
it's a good song for an American team. I don't think it's a good song for a car reveal.
I zoned out most of the songs.
Honestly. Is the season gonna go their way? Probably not.
Ollie's there now. Bestie
I'm happy
hasn't
with
had a bad season.
This driver pairing.
The tallest of the grid.
Also, their
Put
suits
them
bang.
on top of each other. Let's see how tall.
Their racing suits bang.
Yeah, of course.
Really, really hard. I really like their racing suits. I gave this car an 8 out of 10. At least it's got more than one colour on it.
I give it an 8.
At least it doesn't shout the sponsors at you, which is great.
Any other numbers?
I think 9.
Okay, yeah.
I'll give it way less. Like a 6.5.
Harsh.
Oh.
I give it a 7. I did like it. It was one of the nicest, cleanest.
Yeah, it's cleanest,
type
exactly.
Of liveries.
It's neat.
That we've
but it's
seen
not my
for
cup
the
of
night.
tea.
I also wrote down, Esty Bestie, they could never make me hate you.
Of course.
His smile, man.
I don't know why, but ever since he's left Alpine,
He's how much
He's
happier.
so much
likeable.
happier.
Thriving. And
me,
Ollie
he's
Behrman.
The French man. This depression.
Even the French hate the French.
Exactly, depression.
Also, Ollie Behrman is a kegs boy. And kegs boys aren't supposed to amount to anything, so good for him. That joke makes sense to none of you, but it does to people from Essex. This was also the first time that people noticed in this kind of gap that Charles and Lewis were playing chess on
they?
Charles's phone.
It was
For
2-3, so Lewis won, just for the record.
Okay, good to know. I know there was Charles and Carlos talked about playing chess a lot, so it's nice to know that the Ferrari pair will continue the chess theme.
Heartbreaking.
Chess is a boring game. It's an old person's game as well. So
We're talking about a 40-year-old man and then a 20-something-year-old that doesn't really have a
in
social
my
life.
eyes, with playing chess, Lewis is 80 and Charles is 40. So
Yeah, Charles does act like way older than he actually is.
It's a game of strategy, and Ferrari need to learn strategy.
Good one.
You know what would make me clap for him? If he learned Brazilian Portuguese, where he's an
Sexy.
honorary citizen.
Yeah, that would be
That
good.
would-
That would be really
That
cool.
would make me clap for him.
yeah.
I can't wait for the season to start because I'm curious to see which way Sav will skew if Lewis is favored at Ferrari over Charles.
Oh, she's going to blow her top.
Sav's not skewing. Y'all, listen. Listen to me.
Every episode we record has a tangent about Savannah's biases, and I feel like we're very much attacking her for having opinions.
Hey, Joan the Arc was attacked too.
Cool.
You know, I mean,
Joan
she said
the
she heard...
Ark? Was she a big boat? Joan the big boat was attacked for having opinions. Moving on. Jack Whitehall came back. We had a film about the historic rivalries of Formula One. He made a joke about Formula One versus tax. That was funny. And they also showed the Max Verstappen cops crash. Every time I see the Max Verstappen cops crash, I just wait for the anger.
To be
appear.
fair,
How
they
many
also-
drivers moved to Monaco? How many?
I think we're
Let's
all
not
living.
mention.
Yeah. I mean, we're all moving to Monaco at some point to
Exactly.
avoid tax.
Not only did they
It's
show
gonna
the
happen.
cops crash, they showed, was it Imola's crash? And
Oh, yeah.
that, I was shocked because she's just flaring up.
Do you remember the Sky
Just
Christmas
twist the knife a little bit more.
the Sky Christmas ad that showed the cops crash, and people got really cross at Sky for showing the cops crash in the Christmas ad?
Yeah, but that was very controversial. But I think,
So was this, man.
yeah,
I just think bringing up that the cops crash in any circumstance
Context,
is gonna bring up anger in people. It was a very short VT, which I was grateful for because I didn't come to this event to watch VTs about the history of Formula One. I would go to the Silverstone Museum to do that.
we've already been.
We have, and we'll probably go again.
Exactly.
Alpine!
Oh, the disappointment.
Pink time. I literally wrote down pink time.
Bald peen.
Bald peen.
If those scissors come near Paul or Franco,
Oh, please. I would love that.
and I will make that car Barbie pink for Becca.
I mean-
and her mom.
Hot pink.
If you think
Hot
about
Barbie
it, I
pink.
traumatized you already with that Franco.
Oh, you
thing.
made a whole ass screen, like you made a mock-up of it, and I don't want to see it again.
Anyway,
You did the bald peen mock-up, and then you sent me the weird meme.
the DJ.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know. I don't
Who
know
was
what
that?
to say
Does
to that.
anyone know that man's name? Because I don't.
Also,
Apparently,
it
he's the
just
one
went
who
on
made
for
the F1
so
song.
long.
Like, you don't do that
Okay.
set for 7 minutes. What the
Tell me who he is then, because I don't
I
know
have
that man on site. Like, cool
I've
if it's
seen-
if it's a guy with like history in F1,
He-
cool. But like,
He looks like every other washed-up DJ in Shoreditch at the moment.
Apparently,
he did really give it his all though. He was definitely trying to start
No.
the party. He was
I'm
not
sure I've
succeeding.
I'm
The
sure I've seen it
legend
on
says
TikTok.
he's still DJing to this day.
Till today, yeah. But I'm sure I've seen on TikTok that he's the one who made the F1 song.
What the
or something like
da,
that.
da, 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 da,
Yeah.
da. I mean, that's
No
cool.
way.
That's cool. But tell me that. I don't know that person on site.
I don't know. I just felt like he was doing it fakely.
He also
there were
appeared
no
to be-
buttons in front of him.
He also appeared to be wearing shorts and tights,
Oh, good
just
God.
as a, or maybe meggings.
I was
Maybe he got early access to the Lewis Hamilton Lululemon collection and is in Lululemon Lewis Hamilton meggings.
point.
I was just
Okay,
looking
so
at his hair.
his name is Brian Tyler, and he was
What a lovely
he's an
French name.
Emmy-nominated composer who created the official F1 theme tune. And apparently the name of the songs he performed are Rise Higher.
They kept saying Rise Higher. Like, a lot of the stuff on the screen said Rise Higher, and I think it kept repeating in the song.
Rise
so that
Higher
makes sense.
and Are We Dreaming?
Actually, yes. After
Okay.
seeing that blue,
Anyway, the French took their time.
As they do.
as always.
I wrote down pink tent. Was there a pink tent? Or can I just not read my own handwriting?
No, so the
yeah.
cover they had on the car, I think it reflected pink because of the lights, but I don't know if it was pink.
And then I wrote, not pink enough, but better. Because last year, fuming. Last year, fuming. This year, marginally more forgivable. And it is my favourite because of the fact that it's as pink as it is.
I mean, fair.
And the race suits are also pink.
It just felt like, those gender reveal cakes are like half pink, half blue. I hated it. I'm like, decide what you want. I would have loved it was.
Oh my god, trans
pinker.
rights car! Trans rights car! Alpine really said trans rights.
Good one.
I like the shade of blue next to the pink. I think they picked a good shade of blue for the contrast with the pink, because I think it makes the pink pop. Like, if you look at the BWT in pink on the side,
it really
that super stands out. Again, good sponsor placement. I feel like we're going on that a lot, but the E&I sponsors and stuff like that.
Thankfully, it's not the same one that we saw got leaked a couple of weeks ago. That they used for testing. Yeah. This one is much better than that.
Also, there was big love in the room for Jack Doohan.
As they should.
Yeah, that man seems
And
to be
they
getting
need it.
Yeah, he seems to be getting a really rough deal.
No,
Okay, listen.
I'm sorry.
I will have beef.
Exactly. Yes.
Have
Alpine
beef with
is really.
Alpine.
I will.
Yeah, that's who we're saying we have beef with.
That's literally what I'm trying to say right now. With Alpine, they are walking down a Williams a Williams level, a Red Bull level, and they need to calm it down. Like, okay,
They're a back
Williams,
marker.
now they're coming out with all of these sponsors, and I'm like, yes, okay. If I had announced that Carlos Sainz would be bringing him and his billions with the B, I would have been acting like I was Red Bull too. What does Alpine have up in there other than 2,000 owners?
2,000 owners, a half pink car, and a French dream.
Potentially
Half a
Taylor Swift.
French
They don't even
dream.
got the French no more. They got one. They got a French.
They also are French.
I think
They have an FRANCTH. A French.
As of right now, no money lost because of one of their drivers last season.
Yeah, Pierre kept the bank ticking over. There was a bald peen mention in their little discussion, which I enjoyed. I gave this car a 9 out of 10 because I'm biased towards pink. Not sorry about it.
I gave it a 6 because...
Well, you're just objectively wrong.
No, it reminds me of one of the old liveries it has. I feel like they haven't done much. If they did it like a pink cameo, would have given it higher.
Do you mean camo?
Cameo. One of the same thing. I really don't care.
Not the same, but okay.
They're the same thing to me at the moment.
Okay. But yeah,
Yeah. Okay, I said, well, I didn't say, I'm saying right now, I haven't said previously. I think it's a 7 because here's what I would like to do. I would like to see it slashed more. Instead of adding just a little bit of pink at the back, I want it slashed pink / blue / pink.
yeah.
So more pink.
So make it like the color changes like travel down the car a bit more rather than being like. Yeah, I get what you mean.
It would be even cooler if they made 1,000 tiny little strips, because then when the car was going really fast, you would only be able to see pink.
That'd be cool.
It'd be like the Marlboro ad, and like whenever they weren't allowed to advertise cigarettes anymore, so they made the stripes on the car so that whenever it would drive, you could see the Marlboro ad.
Yeah,
Do it like that.
that'd be cool. That would be cool. Imane?
I give it a 5.
Oh, brutal.
I mean, I was expecting more pink. The only thing that is allowing me to give it a 5 is basically the shiny blue in the pictures because that was really beautiful.
Yeah, they did.
But I was
The
expecting
photography of
more.
it was beautiful.
Exactly that. Yeah, the
I
color
want-
palettes of the lighting in that room was amazing.
Clearly, all the hate messages that I've been sending their admin saying make the car pink haven't worked like completely.
Exactly. I guess this season it would work, Becca. So keep the hard work.
Okay, Dan.
6. I would have loved for the suits to be more pink rather than the
Pink and
typical blue
black.
they went for.
I mean, yeah, they've got a full pink body. You know those like ice pack coveralls
Yeah.
that they wear sometimes? If they make them pink, that would be really camp. Cool. Then we got another little side bit and spotted the F1A girls that attended.
Yay!
The feeder series were mentioned. They had a little thing about 1, 2, 3 and F1 Academy. A lovely bit for Abby Pulling. People then booed the FIA.
And
Loved
can we
it.
just say that Laura did admit to her reaction on TikTok in the comments as she talked about the F175 live?
She laughed. We boo the FIA.
Yeah.
Whenever given the opportunity, we boo the FIA. And we swear at them so that they try and fine me €10,000 or whatever it is.
I mean, best of luck with that. I don't have it in my bank account.
I don't have it. I'm going to have to sell the Monaco penthouse to pay all my fines.
My kidneys are the only thing working at the moment, so yeah.
We're not selling it, we're just putting it on a mortgage.
And then we celebrated Pirelli, who
Now,
make
Pirelli
tyres.
got cheers.
Pirelli got tears.
As they should have.
I mean, they've done, Pirelli tyres have been around, like, the standard F1 tyre since
Yeah.
Bridgestone were dropped. And sometimes they've been good. Aston Martin. Dun, 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 dun,
The
dun,
James
dun, dun,
Bond
dun, dun,
intro.
dun, 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 dun.
I quite liked it.
I loved the entrance.
It was
The
actually quite nice.
Fernando and Lance coming out in just like in their suits and in a helmet.
I will say that the lead up to it, they didn't have enough money for a better graphic designer to do the little cartoon show version.
I wrote down how much did they pay to license this music and then remembered that Aston Martin probably have a relationship with James Bond that they can use it for less than other people would. I also wrote down what the fuck is going on. 'Cause I don't know what the fuck was going on for a bit.
Lars was confused as well, bless him.
It was in black and white, which was kind of cool.
It was a very classy intro.
They had lovely
considering-
violin music. They had a whole orchestra. It was gorgeous. Loved it. She looked incredible. She sang incredibly. She had giant jewels on. Huge, unbelievable diamonds hanging from that woman.
But I liked it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, one of the best entries, I would say, of the...
Also, they did
reveals of the car
a
reveals.
suit quick change.
I think they also could have done something more with
Agree.
the ombre, like the back wing. Okay, the rear wing, sexy, wonderful, beautiful. I'm walking down the aisle to it right now. Okay, the green to the yellow to the blue. It's amazing. My toes are curling. My back is arching. The rest of the car, it's just not there. It's just not there.
I like the
mean,
pops of neon, but I wish they'd
Yeah.
done more with them.
the yellow stripes, especially on the tires, I will say yes. But for that, I have to give it a 7.5 because it's doing the same old green thing that they always do. And it's like, y'all really don't want to be up on that podium again, huh?
Isn't there
Like-
just like, for me, there's one pop of neon on the wing, and that's about it. The rest of them I wouldn't even notice.
Well,
unless
there's
I was
like the stripes going down the side.
Yeah.
I love British Racing Green, which I think is what this is trying to kind of emulate,
Mimic. Yeah.
is a beautiful shade of green. Absolutely
That's what-
stunning.
Exactly that, that's
It's
it.
a nice.
And also, they have Glenfiddich as a sponsor, and the only Glenfiddich logo I can see is on the outside of the front wing. And Glenfiddich have a really cool logo that I think you could actually do something cool with. And I wish that they'd done more.
It could have
Yeah.
been used. I would have loved to see that on the fan of the car. I think it would have fit. up
Yeah.
Instead of the Madden logo.
I gave this a 6. It's fine. This is like the platonic ideal of a Aston Martin Formula One car.
I'm gonna give it a 6.5 just because I loved that intro. It was beautiful from the moment Lance and Nando started walking out, and then
Yeah, I
Violet
get
and
that.
Lance had a lovely double-breasted suit on. He looked very suave. And
Stroll dropped that money.
Nando was there making the memes. He's a
As
good boy
he
and everyone
should.
loves him.
Oh, yeah. Now everyone can go home. That was the best part.
It was, you've seen the best car, now you can all go.
I love Fernando.
Imane, what you giving it?
5.
5. Emma, what you giving it?
I'm giving it a 7 because of the entrance.
Oh, see, I'm not taking it into account. I'm just going on liveries. I'm going to give it a 6. And then they also had a rhombus on the screen, and I liked the use of the rhombus.
I really did not take notice of any of this stuff.
I wrote 9 pages of notes. This was right before I developed a chest infection. I wrote 9 pages of notes and went insane.
Really,
Then
the
we
F175 should pay your medical bills for this chest infection.
Please.
I have no medical bills from this chest infection, but they can just give me some money.
You pay the national insurance, so
I do pay national insurance. I pay tax. I pay a lot of tax.
They should pay your tax.
Idris Elba was mentioned by Jack Whitehall as being like, "Ooh, who should be the next 007?" And they cut to Idris Elba. But no, it's Brundle. Woo! I would pay good money to watch Martin Brundle be.
Same.
He would make a great 007.
Yeah.
The awkward silence.
Actually, we zoned out.
Sorry, I was reading my next bit of notes. And then we got a bit of BTS stuff for the F1 movie. Lewis as the producer. Scary driving. Roscoe sighting.
Roscoe sighting, yeah.
Fucking hell, I did not notice any of this. I really blanked out.
There was a female member of the pit crew in the F1 film, and fire.
Oh, controversy. Ooh.
Yeah, there's a female pit crew, and I don't know whether she becomes his race engineer from the pit crew or whether there's 2 women on this team, maybe.
Okay,
If
now
only
2
they
women's
cut that
unrealistic.
part
Yeah,
and
sorry.
put Hayes being hit by the safety car, that would have been better.
Yeah, if they put the bit where Sonny Hayes got hit by the safety car in this, that would have made that bit way more entertaining.
I mean, come on. We all know that Abby Pulling was the first woman. So
She
having
was.
2 women, it's just a stretch.
I mean, yeah, after Abby Pulling, there's like every woman.
This is the first moment in the show that I think me and Imane noticed so many fucking empty seats at those tables.
I think people were just wandering off. I think they were bored.
To be fair, I would have wanted
Going to the bar.
No,
If
to be fair, even at the beginning of the show,
Yeah.
like we saw empty seats, and I was fuming because I'm like, what happened there?
We could have been there. I make a great sit feeler.
Maybe
I was in my pajamas, so I was loving life.
Maybe
I was
Gigi
having
Hadid
fun
was
with
busy.
that.
I don't know. Mercedes. It's a Mercedes. Lots of circles in the beginning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lots of circles.
Lots of circles.
No-
Another
no
focus on
major
history and
changes.
future. I wanted them to show the T-pose, the George T-pose. They didn't. Disappointing. They did, however, show George Russell crying, which is always funny. That man has
I
such an
understand.
expressive face.
That is very true.
Wonderful.
I get why they didn't go in this direction, but not including Lewis in the history bit just felt wrong.
Yeah.
Did McLaren show Lewis in their history bit?
I don't
I
actually
don't
know.
remember.
So
No, but
That
they
was
did
right at the end.
show-
I was dead.
They did show one of the cars from his driving years when they did like the.
I mean, they would have surely they showed Lewis's car at some point. Half their footage is
Yeah.
Lewis's car. I didn't love the WhatsApp font. I know WhatsApp is a big sponsor, but I didn't love the WhatsApp font. I just didn't think it worked. But I do love Petronas Blue.
Petronas blue was beautiful.
Yeah.
It doesn't look as much as a.
Wait, I haven't
era.
finished.
Sorry. Go ahead.
They did the worst pit stop of all time.
Yep.
They were doing a
What was that
Ferrari.
about? But what was that about? Seriously, why?
Back left tire just wouldn't come off. Or was it the back right? Might have been the back right.
Back right.
Oh, what they were doing, they were showing that in Monaco they're going to have another long pit stop, and it's going to be George. I've got a feeling.
Oh,
I
bless
saw
you.
people saying that they were
on the car, so
they were getting the bad pit stop out the way.
Nah.
Ah, cool. Before the season even starts.
Yawn. This car is a yawn. I gave it a 5 out of 10. I'm bored.
I gave it a 4. What are you talking about? I didn't
1
even like
point
it.
higher. We've disagreed way more. And you're like, what are you doing, Rebecca?
No, but I feel like 5 is a mid, you know? It's like...
This is the definition of a mid car.
yeah, you're right.
I didn't get the excitement for it. Personally, it's just a meh. Only
Yeah.
because
It's a meh. Exactly that. It's a meh.
if they did more of an
MEH.
ombre, like a proper... I
They
did like
have-
Mercedes.
The ombre is hidden behind the side pod. I do like everyone loves the Niki Lauda red star on the car, but you didn't see much of that. It's kind of half trying to do the silver arrows, half trying to do the Mercedes black that they did for a while. I do like the suits. The race suits are nice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember these.
There's big love to Toto Wolff in the room.
Sav, what's your rating?
Okay, so my rating, I mean, just looking at it, I think it's nothing special. I mean, I look at that and I'm like, okay, it's a Mercedes. You know, it's not anything that makes me go, wow.
It's giving, it's a Mercedes, not, it's a Mercedes.
No excitement, that's what exactly.
It's like, I think they should have done more, especially because their lineup is weaker this year. Like, I think they're just kind of keeping it mid. And, like, now's not the time to go back into the midfield.
This is giving me a car that's going to lose paint. This is giving me a car that's going to end up being carbon fibre black.
Most likely.
By the end of preseason testing. I don't know why.
It's giving.
They've kind of half not committed to it, half.
This is giving me a car that's not going to be in Australia because of preseason testing.
Do you know what?
It's giving me unfinished work.
Yeah.
Like, you know what?
George, you know when he said in Drive to Survive, oh, fuck, this car's going to be fast or something. It's giving me that. Yeah,
this looks like when you do your homework the morning it's due. They did rotate the car, though. They were the only one who did a little 360 for their car.
Haas also did that.
Oh, okay.
I don't
was wrong
remember this. What the hell was
I literally wrote down, spin car, spin. And then also, when Toto was on the screen, someone in the crowd woofed. I distinctly heard someone in the crowd go woof.
I didn't hear that.
Because he is daddy.
That could have been Susie, for all you know.
True, she was there. Or any number of strange Toto Wolff fangirls. Or fanboys.
Do you know
an equal
what?
opportunity weirdo.
I must have been
Could have
on
been
something.
Fred.
Could have been Fred.
I don't remember Toto being on screen.
Emma,
weird.
what did you
Why
watch?
are you here, Emma?
Which
What do you
F175
remember?
did you watch?
Should we just remove Emma from the call because she doesn't remember anything?
She gave her opinion on V-Car, but I mean,
She
that's
gave it
all
a 10 out of
watched.
10. She's done, you know? She's
And
ready
then-
to bed.
Yeah, and then the car ascended into the heavens. Oh, and we could all worship it as it went up.
Well, clearly we know where that's going to be going. In the bin soon, if it's going to be rubbish.
You didn't. Okay. You didn't hold.
We will see. We will hold space for preseason testing.
I will at least hold space for Kimmy, if not for George.
Yeah, Kimmy got real hype in the room. I think Kimmy Antonelli needs to grow his hair out. I think the weird length it is at the moment makes him look like a baby.
He
Do
is
you
18.
think if his hair goes longer, he's gonna look older?
I do. I think his hair is.
look younger.
I think he looks a little bit like a Q-tip at the moment.
I mean, he looks like a child, so.
He
Or
is a
he needs to get
child.
like a Lando. He's literally just stopped being a child.
Exactly.
He needs to get like a Lando Norris undercut. Can you tell how my opinions on Lando Norris's undercut?
A little baby mullet situation.
Right, and then we were back to Jack Whitehall.
We were back to Gordon Ramsay.
This was when Gordon Ramsay made an appearance and said, "Let them be real" when talking about the swearing ban. I cannot believe that the FIA let that get broadcast. I know it was live, but I
he
cannot
swore.
believe he did swear.
That was funny.
I made
I'm
the joke
curious.
Gordon Banzi, which no one found funny.
I did.
And they also made a reference to Jamie's Italian, which doesn't exist anymore.
That's funny. Gordon Banzi.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Then there was the dicking around video, as I called it, which is just the drivers being goofy for a bit, which was good vibes. Nando on the scooter and Lewis watching the Euros were the bits that stood out to me.
Yeah.
I have very, very fond memories of watching the Euros after the race because I watched it with our friend Holly. Shout out to Holly. It was the first time we ever met and we watched the Euros together. Red Bull!
Oh, God.
Red Bull. I wrote down a joyful presentation for a boring fucking car.
But even the joyful presentation was doing something to Max, because I'm still wondering if the man who actually touched Max is alive or not.
I felt so
I don't think
bad.
he ever existed at this point.
I guess, yeah.
I feel so
Wiped
bad for
out.
Max and Liam. I do get why they didn't interview him, well, the both of them, because just, yeah. But
Horrendous.
it's I'm sorry, grown-ass people, I don't like booing in football, I don't like booing in rugby, I don't like booing in F1. You're grown, you're an adult, grow up.
Except for Christian Horner, we can boo Christian Horner.
Yeah, we can boo
And FIA.
as
He's-
the FIA.
Yeah. I also noticed that their initials spell Orb R.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
Could be.
Oracle Red
Can
Bull.
we
Racing.
just have a moment for Liam's red carpet outfit?
Do you know what? I saw
Please,
something.
the flannel. Oh, fuck.
He looked like Justin Timberlake in the early 2000s.
I don't know.
He
It
looked
looked
like
he
he's-
just left home without
But-
changing.
I think I did see someone say it. They think Max was repping Alpha Tauri and Liam was repping Pepe Jeans. That's what I think they were trying
Liam was repping,
But I mean,
I
even
didn't
Pepe
leave my
Jeans-
house
I
without
liked it.
taking a shower.
Even Pepper Jeans could have done something better. Why would you give him flannel fucking...
Yeah, but he was
What was that
comfortable.
shirt?
I'm defending him here. Why would I want
comfortable
to...
for a red
That
carpet?
is not a red carpet outfit.
That's
all
giving
I'm gonna
2000s
say.
red carpet though. But
Yeah.
I liked it. It was different. I'm sorry. I don't want to be watching stuffy men in suits all the time.
They did play the Rolling Stones though, which I enjoyed. I like the Rolling Stones, and they said that they're car fans at heart and about car culture, which is probably true. I feel like a lot of the people at Red Bull got into this sport as car fans because it was an invented team.
I was right. The only thing that comes up is Liam Lawson in a race suit.
Give me a minute. I will find it.
Max looked done.
Oh, yeah.
They did bring
Crushed.
out the Milton Keynes dance troupe, which was fun and joyful. Apart from Max Verstappen, Max Verstappen was not joyful.
Not a suit, but found something.
There you go, it exists. I could literally put a picture of last year's car in the document that we're referencing, and y'all would not have been able to tell the difference. It's the same car.
Exactly that.
The Oracle placement and everything.
I liked it. What? This blue is
mean-
red.
It's
Red
Red,
Bull.
Bull,
Effort.
which is one of your teams.
No effort whatsoever.
It's
You know
Red
when
Bull.
you-
They copy pasted.
Literally. You know when you have a friend and you're like, can you give me the answers of your exam? And you give them the answers, you're like, can you try to make it a bit different? But they don't. They copy paste the same thing. That's Red Bull's homework.
They
It's
self
literally-
plagiarized.
As I say, for the past 5 years, I think they've had the exact same livery.
I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But unfortunately for them, at this point, it might be slightly broken because it is boring. I gave it a 6
Absolutely.
I gave it a 6.
because I like it, but I'm bored by it.
They should bring back the purple.
They should hire me, and I'll paint it by hand.
Don't we know what colour it's
I
going to be?
trust you.
Pink ball.
Yes.
Okay, what I think they should do is I think they should run like liveries inspired by their actual Red Bull drinks. Okay, I would like to
That's
see
such
a
a good
tropical
That's a
idea.
Red Bull.
sexy idea. I
Yeah.
like it.
Also, I think the blue is supposed to be sparkly in person. So for that, for the blue, I'm thinking sparkly in person.
Yeah.
I'm going to give a 6.
In a night race, if it is sparkly, that'll look grand.
Mm-hmm.
I love the idea
Las
of like
Vegas or Qatar.
you have
God.
you're in Miami, so you do the tropical Red Bull, and then like you're in Canada and it's cold, so you do the white one.
You're in Japan and you do the pink one.
Oh, that's such a good idea, Savannah. Quickly write that down before trademark Savannah's Red Bull idea before someone else steals that.
Write that down.
Before
Write that
Red
down.
Bull steals that.
Yeah.
Literally.
At Red Bull livery admin team, if that happens, we want paddock passes
Please.
for the
Yeah.
For,
podcast.
all,
For the
for
penthouse.
each and every race.
We want the penthouse in Monaco. Fuck.
We want the penthouse in Monaco. We want content rights to make content with you, and we want paddock passes.
Thank you.
And then we moved on to Ferrari. Jack Whitehall donned a red suit jacket for this, his one outfit change of the night. The Enzo Ferrari moment. The evolution of the car. Is it red? Yes, it's red, but it's a slightly different red, so they can claim they did something. And I like this shade of red.
I
The
do.
shade of red
loved-
is lovely.
I love the shade of
The
red.
shade of race.
I
Yeah,
love the shade of red.
It's like that
beautiful. It's
good
sexy.
cherry red. Like, I want a lipstick this colour.
It reminds me, I can't remember what season it was, but I'm pretty sure they've been that red before. I think
Probably.
was it with Sebastian Vettel?
I think it was Seb's last season at Ferrari.
Yeah.
That they did that.
I wrote down giant car. I don't know why I wrote down giant car.
Giant HP logo. That's what.
Giant HP logo.
That's probably what
Right.
you're thinking.
I like the white stripe. I'm going to put it up. I like the white stripe. I don't like the fact that HP logo's in the white stripe, but I like the white stripe. Okay. I know that some people in this room don't, but I do.
I'm curious to know how much money they're sponsoring Ferrari with.
It's a lot of money.
To not be able to change that blue to any other color.
I think HP
No, and
is
to
a blue,
actually make it bigger. Like, it keeps getting bigger and bigger.
It's also on the rear wing now.
Annoying.
But
Yeah.
I'm going to go slightly off. Does for the race suits, does it have the HP in the middle of their stomach? Because if they do, they're Teletubbies.
It does. It does.
Teletubbies.
I am now going to call them Teletubbies. So
Red Teletubbies.
Tinky Winky.
HP after the Scuderia Ferrari would be better. Charles is adorable. Lewis looks great in red. 8 out of 10.
He looks a lot happier.
He is over the moon. We'll see how he goes after he has to deal with Italian incompetence during the race. But at the moment, he's looking happy, which is a joy to see.
Compared to Mercedes, every dream needs a team. I do like the we belong to racing team slogan.
That was a nice one. I agree to
Yeah.
that. Yes.
Yeah, and I love I thought their history video was one of the stronger history videos. I think just because they have more history than anyone else to work with.
Yeah. It was really nice.
I like the white stripe. I like the darker red. Ferrari is a sponsorful team. They are full of sponsors, which takes away from it a bit. So I gave it an 8 out of 10.
I'm giving it a 5. I would have given it a 4. Don't give me that look. The sponsors they're spread out everywhere. The white, the HP, the red is only saving it. It's only saving it by a smidge.
I do love the fact that they had the 16 as Charles's number on the front, and then they had the 44 at the back after the HP logo.
Yeah,
that was considerate.
Similar to what Williams did.
Yeah,
if it was intentional. Every time I see Amazon Web Services, I just go, because it's AWS.
Sav, it's your time to shine. Tell us what you think.
In 5 words or less.
Red, good.
HP bad.
Okay. Red, white, good.
HP
no HP.
Love it. Succinct and to the point.
Okay. So now let me dig.
Elaborate.
Okay. So you guys know how badly I've wanted this darker red. Okay?
Yeah.
Y'all know how badly. So this red, it's giving like how I'm gonna feel after my 25th birthday. Like, I feel like I've shifted from like a young butterfly into like a mature woman.
As someone who has turned 25 previously, I don't remember that. Maybe it'll happen when I turn 28.
I was going to say.
Yeah. Well, because my brain just shifted from constantly feeling 17 to now feeling 21. So I feel like...
Yeah, no, I do get that. I still think I'm 23.
I still think I'm 21.
So it's kind of like...
She's nodding. You can't hear that, but Savannah is currently just nodding vigorously.
We can use that as a TikTok clip.
She can't find the words to describe.
This without being disrespectful.
So the red is sexy, yes.
Yeah.
And the white is giving like a palette cleanser before it like hits you back with the red again. The thing I really, really do not like, it's the HP logo. If it was black, it'd be better. But it's not.
I hate the rear wing.
Blue.
I hate the rear wing.
Yeah, that's
it should go back to Ferrari. Like, it should go back to Ferrari. It should
Put
never say
HP
anything.
on like the lower panel, and then Ferrari. If it has to go on there.
It should be, exactly. Also, why is Ferrari acting like they're going out of business? Like,
they have so much money.
They're not. Like, Ferrari is Formula One, okay?
It's because
Formula One has never been without Ferrari. Like, Ferrari, and here's the thing. Red Bull, sure, yes. Red Bull is a brand completely on its own. They don't need to be in Formula One.
Anyway, so the next bit was a thank you to Bernie Ecclestone, which I hated. And a thank you to Stefano Domenicali talking about Formula One stuff, which was fine.
That was just fine.
It was fine. Any thoughts on Bernie Ecclestone or Stefano Domenicali?
You just about covered it.
I guess so.
Savannah, any thoughts?
On Bernie Eccleston?
Maybe not on Bernie Eccleston.
Sorry, I didn't catch what you said after that, man.
Stefano Domenicali.
He's very well PR trained, I will say that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
He is
feel like he
very
has to
well.
be.
Words are calculated.
Principal now as well.
Compared to Lando Norris, he is.
Speaking of Lando, the MCL 39.
Oh God.
There it is. So they had another history-focused session. Kind of reminded me of the Silverstone Museum. The video that we saw at the beginning of the Silverstone Museum, where we were stood on that grid.
Yeah, they had the lead up to the current car, which was nice.
They also had the old cars on stage, which I loved.
Yeah, that was a good intro.
That was really good.
That was really nice.
So
That actually set the bar so high
yeah.
that I was actually expecting a miracle or something on stage, but well, never mind.
They did have Martin Brundle, which is as close to a miracle as you're going to get.
I like that.
He was on stage with the trophy. They had big hype for the World Constructors' Championship, I guess because this is a constructor-themed event. Zach Brown and Andrea Stella appeared, say that this was an innovative car. I guess
Clearly.
we'll find out at pre-season testing.
Maybe from the inside, but definitely not from the outside.
It's orange. It did not have a number on it,
It didn't, no. I think
which
that's
looked
because
weird.
that
I think they're
is
play into the whole.
so they did have the 81 and the 4 on the rear. Like they had 81 Oscar's number on one side and the 4 Lando's on the other. It's the exact same model of a car they put in Woking. So I think they brought it in from the O2 Arena. I don't know if it's the exact car, but the livery is identical.
Because it could just be an old car with a new livery on. I would imagine it's an old car with a new livery on.
I don't think it's the MC.
To be fair, I say new livery. It's very similar to the last.
It's the old.
It's the same.
It's boring.
as the last one.
The camo was much better.
I wrote down that the suits are cool and that they mentioned the legends of McLaren, including Fittipaldi and Hamilton. So they did mention Lewis because I wrote it down. Lando talked about his trust in McLaren.
Oh, he's
and how
definitely Charles.
He's stuck with them. He could be a one-team kind of guy.
He's
He could
definitely
be.
Charles.
He is definitely McLaren's Charles. Savannah.
Come on.
Yeah, let's be real.
McLaren have
It's
put
true.
their
One
faith
team
in
kind of guy.
Lando in the same way that Ferrari have put their
He
faith in
did
Charles.
Sav as a McLaren girly. Let me speak and please let me finish this thought. He does have one of the longest standing contracts, the same as Charles does. So he did the Fast and Furious podcast at the beginning of this year. And they did ask him, how long is the current one, your renewal? And he said, it's a lot more years than you'd expect. So I do see him as a 2028, 2029 type of signee to McLaren. I don't want to see him go to another team anytime soon, just because I would like to see how he goes against the WDC again or WDD this coming season or the next couple of years. He seems a lot more confident than he did last year.
Okay. Are you done?
Sure.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure you weren't taking a little break before I jumped in. Wanted to make sure there wasn't no jumping over words or anything. You can't say I didn't let you finish. So, I agree that Lando Norris is there at McLaren. I do. However,
What a statement!
controversial, but I have to say that I do not think Ferrari would or will make the mistake that McLaren made with Lando. I think if Lewis is stronger than Charles, or if Charles is stronger than Lewis, I don't think they would do the papaya rules thing. I think McLaren do not value.
They've done
it.
When Seb was there.
I said
They've already
will.
done it.
I don't think, like, if someone is very clearly leading, Lewis or Charles, I just don't think McLaren valued Lando enough last year to support him in his bid for a championship.
I just think they made the decision too late. I don't necessarily think that they didn't trust him. I think they made the decision to do it too late. Probably.
Yeah.
They didn't
No,
think
I
it
think
could.
Oscar will leave. I think
Oscar
will leave sooner rather than later.
Oscar's current contract, as far as I know, and what the internet is telling me, is until 2026, including So he's in there for the next 2
He's
seasons.
got another couple of seasons. Yeah. I think it'll be interesting to see. I think Lando will stick with McLaren for a while. I think he's given them so many years when they were
Crap.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I agree with that description. That's valid.
So I was gonna try and be diplomatic, but
No.
Emma did my job for me.
You're welcome.
Also, they mentioned that Oscar has done 46 races as a Formula One driver, which, considering he's been in for 2 seasons, some people would race for 10 seasons and not make that.
Yeah.
So that's insane. Just a little fun statistic. He's very excited. He wants to fight from the beginning of the season.
And he deserves it, to be honest.
He does.
He's
had a great couple
car.
of seasons.
Yeah,
I hope he gets the podium in Australia. And if he doesn't, I'm praying on McLaren's downfall if they do something to him. If McLaren fuck.
You're playing for McLaren's downfall anyway.
I'm praying for everyone's downfall.
Besides
Yuki and Checo.
Yeah, but if Yuki does fall, it's a lot less distant.
Exactly. So I'm not too worried about Yuki.
I was talking about him being short.
I don't care.
I was talking about him being short.
I know, that's what.
At the table.
Go ahead, Emma.
All I'm gonna say is, if McLaren do something in a pit stop or just strategy-wise for Oscar in Australia, that's it. Like, the pure is on site. I mean, Oscar got replaced by Nico in my top 5, but Oscar, I have a soft spot for him. So McLaren
keep
is on
track
site.
of your top 5 very, very closely.
Yeah, Oscar's in my top 5 as well. But I think I want it to be poetic cinema. Like, because the person who wins in Australia is, 1,000 days or something? Like, when the season starts, it's going to break Max Verstappen's record-breaking, like, historic championship win. Because ever since he took it off of Charles after the summer break in 2022, he hasn't lost the championship lead.
Yeah.
So whoever wins, if it's Max Verstappen, he's going to extend that even further. Or let's say, fingers crossed, let's say it's Charles, and then he's taken the lead back that he once lost, okay? Or let's say it's Lewis, he's breaking the record of the guy who broke his record, okay?
I'm praying it's Charles. If someone breaks Max's record, I want it to be Charles more than anything, because I would love a repeat of 2022, just less mistakes from Ferrari and Charles.
Yeah.
We don't
2022 is I don't want to think about 2022.
We don't have too long to wait now.
No, we really don't. And that's our last livery. 6 out of 10. It's fine.
Imane.
You give me a 3, Imane.
I'm so disappointed. I went to sleep just right after that bloody shit. I was so disappointed. I'm not even
You would
joking.
expect me to give a 3 out of 10
No,
for McLaren.
so
That's brutal.
Me and Imane, as the fellow McLaren girlies here, we did really want a mock-up of the cameo livery that we saw during testing. That
You
was
mean
camo?
Camo. You've got the Emma curse.
Camo livery.
That pixelated thing. But that you can't put sponsors on that.
Like it.
You could have. I would have liked to see a mock-up of it with the sponsors as they have it right now. I think it would have still looked nice.
No.
Like the
these
McLaren
people
has
had an entire
26
year
million
to think.
sponsors to fulfill.
They did say they're giving me a bit of hope, because they did say the suits are gonna be like that. These were just the ones that they were for the F175, but the actual suits for the seasons are gonna be that.
What I'm gonna say is, I prefer McLaren when they were silver. I liked them when they were silver.
The chrome livery was
Chrome
so
is
nice.
the heaviest paint you could put on the car, though, which is why they don't run it anymore.
It's quite sad, but I loved it when they were that. That's to me McLaren, not orange.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. You can say it's papaya, you can say it's pumpkin, you can say whatever. It's orange.
You can say it's tangerine, according to Visa Cash App.
It is tangerine, actually.
Also, the picture I chose for our document is so blurry. I don't know why I didn't find a better quality photo.
I thought that was my eyesight.
Sorry about that, McLaren.
Could have used the one I took, man.
I don't think it would have changed anything anyway, because it looks the
Exactly.
same.
It's the same.
I do like the Google Chrome tires, though. I'll give them.
Yeah.
Yes, we
They're
have that
fun.
and Ferrari's tires. I guess that's the only thing I've liked in both cars, except the color in Ferrari because it was sexy. But it's just the tires choice was really good compared to other cars. If you go back at it, like other previous ones, this one actually, the tires in this one were quite good.
I feel like they've got the opportunity to do like a cool sunset vibe as well with that base orangey colour.
Yeah, they
like
could
for like an Austin or something.
Mm.
Think about like the Austin sunset. That'd be cool.
Write that down, Becca.
Okay, yeah. Savannah, you send off your Red Bull idea to Red Bull. I'll send my sunset car idea to McLaren. We'll see who gets a response in the next 10 years. Dan, what's your rating?
I'm gonna give it a 5. It's mid. It's the same as last year. Nothing's changed.
Emma?
I'm giving it a 5, and that's me being nice.
Savannah?
I mean, I didn't really think it was that bad. I mean, it's so much prettier in person, y'all. So I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Okay.
That's generous, but good.
That is generous.
It is prettier in person, but it's the same as
I'm
last year.
sure.
It's just exactly. I'm not disappointed because it's ugly. I'm disappointed because it's the same. You know.
Yeah.
I like it. In general, it's nice. But I was actually expecting something nicer, or at least something new, because we had that before. If that makes sense, you know.
McLaren have plenty of cash. They could pay an artist to design them something cool.
Exactly.
like
and they had
50,000
an entire
sponsors.
year to think about how to replace the sponsors, you know. It's not like they don't have graphic designers to decide that. It was just like, again, unfinished work, as if you're doing your homework on the morning of the actual exam. So, yeah.
And then, yeah. I don't know why I said and then.
We had
got a
Take That. Close.
No! There was one bit in between, which was a thank you to the fans, where Jack Whitehall stood next to a weird Kimi Antonelli lookalike in the crowd and said thank you to the fans, and we all went, okay.
Did we see how small that pit was, though? Am I the only one who noticed that? There were...
I mean, the O2 Arena is not a massive venue anyway, and they took up a lot of space with that runway.
For the cars. Yeah, fair enough.
And also they had the 2 table sections down the side. So...
I actually wondered, did they have food or not?
They
Genuine
did.
question.
They had
Yeah,
burgers
they got
and fries
fed.
included in the actual tickets. What I would have liked to see, and this is just coming to my mind now, like McLaren did that pop-up in Woking. It would have been nice if they did a one-day pop-up at the O2 where they would let us all see them.
That would have been hell.
I was going to say that would be
One
chaos.
day would have been chaos. I think like if they'd been able to get the teams to agree to give a car over for a week, and you could book it as like an exhibit,
So
that would
the
be cool.
The McLaren half-term one, I think, was 4 or 5 days. If they would have done that pre-Bahrain testing, that would have been nice.
Or like
Yeah.
F1 teams own so many ground effect cars, old ground effect cars. Whack a new livery on an old car. They all look pretty similar. No one's going in to look at the technical aspects of a car. Some people will, but like you could just say this is 2 years ago car with a new livery on. Because like some teams have made some actually pretty big changes. The Ferrari wheelbase has changed completely in a way that will be really interesting to see if that corrects some of their steering issues.
We're going to see how many of those changes actually get approved by
The FIA.
Give it 5
Yeah,
minutes.
no more mini DRS this year. It wasn't illegal, but has now been made illegal. They've set the parameters for the size of the gap you can have when the wing is closed much tighter. It wasn't illegal. It was the same as the Mercedes
DAS.
steering system. DAS, thank you. It's the same as that. It's not illegal, but it's legal. And then the most important part of the evening, Take That. Someone, the whole time they were singing, was flat.
Gary.
The whole time. I don't think it was... There was times when I questioned if Gary Barlow's mic was even on, because he was so quiet. But someone was really flat. And it annoyed me. They sang The Greatest. They did their in-sync walking, which everyone loves.
Yeah.
They were wearing leather jackets, which for men of their age is a choice.
Quiet.
Someone was doing a falsetto. Someone played the guitar for Rule the World. And then they ascended into the heavens.
They could have brought Robbie Williams
And-
out.
Yeah, and no one looked like they were having a good time.
Clearly.
The end.
Final VT, the full grid on the stage, which I thought was really nice. None of the drivers looked like they really wanted to be up there waving, but they were out there. All the cars were there.
They had
It
to.
was nice. And that concludes the F175 Live. Any final thoughts, ladies?
I'm very glad. I said before, I'm so glad I saved £100.
I would have gone. I would have paid the money. I'm not gonna
Absolutely.
lie. If not for the actual cars and everything, just for the atmosphere, everyone looked like they were having a great time.
I mean, also, how much would take that at the O2 be?
Over 100.
Yeah. I know you're not getting a full Take That concert. And there was no Robbie Williams, but...
Exactly.
I don't even know who Take That is. But I will say, I still would have went. I would have went. My final thoughts are, every car was pretty much no one car wowed me.
No one did anything more than what we thought they would.
I wasn't expecting much.
No.
Mm-hmm.
It's money personally, and they all had 7 minutes each. I wasn't expecting a grand gesture of fireworks and all that huzzah. So,
and as a kind of hype up event for the start of the season, didn't really hype. My hype levels for the start of the season and preseason testing have not changed.
No,
I am as excited about the start of the season as I was the day before.
Yeah.
And I am very excited about the start of the season. I feel like we're all very down about this event in some ways, but no, we are excited about the start of the season. We're really excited that this is the first season we're going to get to cover fully as a podcast. We will probably try and
so many rookies as well.
We have so many
excited to have them.
rookies. Gabby, Isaac, Ollie, Kimmy,
Fernando.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. This has been fun.
No worries.
Absolutely.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of A Polite Notice podcast all about F175 Live. We hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and follow us on Instagram and TikTok at A Polite Notice Pod. See you next time. Bye-bye. This has been episode 9 of A Polite Notice podcast, a Polite Notice production hosted by Daniela San, Emma Cheshire, Imane Morabet, Rebecca Jones, and Savannah Lenz. Research by Eleana Cheshire, and audio editing and technical production by Alex Vasile. Smashed it, mate.